Good evening. Maybe I should say good night. Welcome to Pathway to Success. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Hunter. We want to apologize for a late start this evening. This is the last show for this year. Then we start back our show next month. But we have Felicia Banks, finance guru, with us this evening. Very inspirational young woman, a young woman who is making strides and doing great thing in the mortgage industry. Felicia Banks was born and raised right here in South Florida and of Jamaican descent. She received a bachelor's degree from the University of Central Florida in interdisciplinary studies with focus in biology, and that's amazing, chemistry, business administration, health service administration. Felicia also received a master's degree in public health in 2014, and she began her career in the healthcare industry as an administrator of a senior facility, but she just decided to make a shift from the healthcare industry into the financial industry in 2015. Felicia has her life insurance license, health insurance license, investment license, and Series 62663. And she also has her mortgage loan originator license. She worked part time in the finance industry until March of 2019, and she was able to quit her career in the healthcare industry and work for herself full time. Congratulations, that's great. Felicia Banks currently has an office in right here in Green Acres, Florida, and works with a team of agents who are all part timers. She's looking to expand and open 3 additional offices in 2022. Right now, you're watching, maybe you could be part of her team for 2022. They help families to create customized, complementary, confidential financial game plan and show them how to get out of debt. And I like that. Protect their income and create an income for their future. Miss Felicia Banks, welcome to Pathway to Success.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on this evening. I
It's such a privilege to have you here.
appreciate it.
Such great achievement at such a young age. I'm tremendously impressed. I won't let you tell your age out because it's against the female policies, really. But you have achieved so much at such a young age. Tell us, what was it like growing up as a child?
So, as you mentioned, as of Jamaican descent, it was education, education, education. So, growing up, it was always, C is failing. If you have too many B's, it's an issue. So, I was actually number one in my class throughout, high school. I graduated with the most accolades. And so I went off to college, and that's where I really started to, find myself in what it is that I love. But growing up, it was education is number one priority. Get the good grades so that you can go off. Because my mother is an immigrant. She migrated here to for us to have a better life. So I had to make sure that I did my part.
That's good. I love that. But what was your motivation to change? Because healthcare industry is a big thing in the United States of America. I've seen persons who worked in the banking in financial industry,
Mm-hmm.
came here, and now they're working in the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen persons also who well were police officers. Now presently they're working as in the medical field. What was the motivation that caused it to change from the healthcare industry to the financial industry?
So if you're looking for security, that's where most people end up going into the healthcare industry. So funny story, going even I have my degree in these multiple areas, but 2008 was when it was time for me to decide my major. And so 2008, as we know, there was the great crash. So I loved finance, but I said, I'm not going to find a job at that time. So of course, in high school, I was number one in my class in my health program many years. So I said, that's the safe route. So many people shift to healthcare because it's, oh, there'll always be a job. However, if you want to make money, the finance industry creates most of the millionaires, real estate, finance, life insurance. That's where you're going to see the most multimillionaires created. So safety, healthcare, but wealth, finance industry for sure. And that's what I was seeking.
Wow, that remind me of your Jamaican heritage, because in my experience with Jamaican women, if you're not financially secure, then you can't really stop more than to say hi and goodbye, moving up the
Exactly.
road.
Keep it moving.
So they're very firm about that one. But elaborate a little. Tell us why you're preferred to. Why are you known as a financial guru? I like that.
I
A
am
financial guru. That's powerful. I like that.
powerful. Yes, I'm the best at what I do.
Uh
My
huh.
biggest thing is I love information and I love to give and share information. So when I sit with clients, it's not just, wham bam, here we sit down, I educate you, this is how it works. Many of the things that we think we should know or we don't know, it's very simple, but I think we get a little bit afraid of the unknown. So when I sit with them, guru, I taken all the information. I get it, and I'm able to sit down, pass it on to you, and help you create a successful financial game plan for yourself. So when it comes to that, I am guru on that. They call me the sea urchin in the office. Information, information, information. But yes, I know my craft. I mastered my craft.
That's good. But what are some of the areas that you would really instruct your clients in, um, pertaining to the financial within the financial year?
So many different areas. So here's one of the things that happens out in the industry. There are individuals, as you can hear, have multiple licenses, and it's not just here's a product, here's life insurance, or here's a retirement plan, or here's an investment or college fund. You have to sit with the client and take a look at the entire picture. Okay, where are you at today? Where are you supposed to be years from now? Are you on track? If not, let's give you those numbers. Most people have no idea how much money they need to retire. That's one of the things. I sit down, they have no clue. They're putting away $50 a month, not realizing. It's almost like when you're driving. Let's say someone says, hey Felicia, I live in New York, come see me up in New York. I live in Manhattan. No address is given. So you got to drive north for maybe 17 hours, but you don't have an address. You don't know where you're going exactly. So you're kind of driving blindly and hoping you're getting to the destination. Same thing with, let's say, your future finances. That's my biggest thing, creating wealth for the future. But if you don't have that destination, that number, the amount of money you're working for 40 years, you got to put money away for the future, and you're doing it for 40 years, but you kind of hope after. Many people actually work for 50 years of their life. Many people start at 16, retirement is 67. So you're driving for 50 years, no destination, and you kind of hope you get there. So that's really where I direct my clients is the future. We need to build for your future wealth. But in the moment, where are you at right now, and making sure that you're on track. When you have debt, how to reallocate money. A lot of people pay off debts the wrong way. So it's really reallocating the money and making sure all the different parts of your financial game plan will work together and come together for your good in the future.
Wow, you're really the best. I think I'm sitting with somebody from Wall Street. I need to come into your office. What are the office hours? Does it begin now, or the office hours begin now? Okay. What is really needed? Say, for instance, someone that is interested in becoming a financial guru or in your field of work. What is really needed? The qualification to start a career in the financial industry.
Well, the beauty about how I got introduced to the industry, it's really about having a clean background. As I mentioned, I have a lot of part timers and looking to expand and have three additional offices. You don't need any educational background or any experience in the finance industry. It's about having a clean background. They do in certain licenses, like your mortgage, they're going to check your credit. So you're going to have, not to say if you have any late payments, anything, but in like bankruptcies and things like that, anything major. But other than that, everybody, I will sit with you. We will work from scratch. I train you. I hold your hand until you feel completely comfortable on being on your own. But a clean background check. And you can't work at the VA and you can't work at a funeral home. Other than that, we're good.
You can't work at a VA or the funeral home.
It's a Florida law. Now, that is Florida, and I know this is broadcasted otherwise. So that's a Florida law. But outside of that, it's really about having a clean criminal background.
What are some of the breakthrough or the advantages that you have seen so far since you've been working in the financial industry?
As far as my clientele?
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of my favorite things. So when I sit with my clients, especially when they have multiple parts going for their financial plan, I do what I call a financial needs analysis. And as I mentioned, where are we at today? Where are you supposed to be? Are you on track? I have one individual, one individual I sat with, and they had 70,000 in credit card debt. And so they had an investment home, they had their home, they had 5 kids. They had many different things going on. All together with their mortgage and everything, they had about $500,000, $500,000 in debt. And so she said, "Hey, this is how I'm doing it. I'm throwing most of my money at debt, and then the whole idea is to make sure you have certain things in place before you throw all your money at debt." Okay, because a lot of people throw all their money in debt when there's an emergency, they have no money, they're going back and swiping that card. You're in a debt cycle. So one thing I showed her, I said, listen, with your plan, the way you're doing it, you'll be debt free in 12 years. Good. But if you, as subtle as this when I sit with a client, but if you follow the plan that I have for you, number one, you're going to pay off your debt in 13 years. However, you'll have $100,000 saved, and you will save when I saw this, even me, that person would save $400,000 in interest. People don't realize the wealthy people get paid interest. The poor people, we pay interest. $400,000 in interest I would have saved there. So it's seeing even a recent client, if they were to continue paying that debts off the way they were, it would be 10 years they would pay off the debt. And I showed them how to pay it off in 2.5 years and have $2,700 additional to be able to turn around and now fund the retirement that they don't have. So it's really about putting everything into perspective, showing them this is what you do. A lot of people too, when you do your budget, I have no money to save, but you buy lunch for $10 every day. Okay, $10, $50 a week, that's $200 right there that you can now put away for it. So it's really showing them, and when they see the debt, you know how many people want to get out of debt so bad? It's just they don't know how to pay it down. I'm not taking any more money out of your pocket.
Right.
Okay, so I'm just showing you the strategies, and I'm here every 6 months. How's it going? Has anything changed? I have people when I call them, hey, I paid off this credit card. All right, what are you doing with that money now? So it's the accountability. It's not an 800 number you're calling. I'm available on the weekends. So it's really showing them the shift in how they manage their money, how they allocate their money, and showing them that, yes, including your mortgage, I can show you how to get out of debt in 15 years sooner. I can show you how to pay all of that off and be on track for retirement. So that brings me so much joy when I can help them.
Wow, we have the best right here on Pathway to Success. And this is the right topic, being that we're exiting out of 2021 into a new year. And I believe that there are many persons that are watching need to reassess their lives, and we really, really need to get connected with someone like you, the financial growth specialist in finances. But what are some of the strategies and techniques that you use to make the client's expectation a reality?
It's really just like I said, I build the relationships with my clients. It's very, very important. And the biggest thing is keeping in contact, making sure, of course, I can give you the plan. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But when you've built that rapport with them, when you follow up with them and you're checking in with them every 6 months to a year, making sure they're staying on track. Hey, Felicia, hey, I just racked up a little bit more credit cards. Okay, let's reassess your plan. Let's add that debt to it. So it's really to make sure that I'm on top of them. You had a new baby? Okay, let's add that child to, if you have a policy or a beneficiary. It's staying on top of them, ensuring that they're following the plan. And when you have somebody holding you accountable, you see Felicia Banks show up, and you're like, oh man, she's calling, you kind of want to try to stay on track. So that's really what I use, is building that rapport, and staying in touch with my clients and making sure that they're on track to where they say they're going.
That shows nurturing, that shows care, that you're really interested in every year of the person's life and you want to see them remain on track. We're going to take a short break from Pathway to Success, but we will be right back with the inspirational financial guru, Felicia Banks. Good job.
There's a new sports bar and grill in town, Tasty's Soul Food Sports Bar and Grill. Join T-Dog and all his celebrity friends for the grand opening on Saturday, May 1st, beginning at 2 p.m. It's a grown and sexy vibe with 80s and 90s R&B music, served with Tasty's great tasting menu, offering Tasty's burgers and fries, Tasty's shrimp, salmon, oxtails, mac and cheese, collard greens, smothered pork chops, potato salad, lemon pound cake, and so much more. And T-Dog is bringing out all his celebrity friends. And the only way you're going to know who's there is by coming by T-Dog's all-new Tasty Soul Food Sports Bar and Grill. Join us for the grand opening on Saturday, May 1st at 2 p.m. 3770 Northeast 3rd Avenue, Pompano Beach. It's a grown and sexy vibe with 80s and 90s R&B music. Call and place your order now at 954-953-8856. A Tasty's experience is what you deserve. Tasty's Soul Food Sports Bar and Grill. Home of the lemon pepper and sweet and tangy fried ribs. Due to COVID restrictions, mask must be worn upon entering the building.
Are you looking to advertise your business? Look no further. Pathways to Success is offering 3 30-second slots each Sunday of the month for $100. Please contact 561-331-1524 for all inquiries.
Welcome back to Pathway to Success. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Hunter, with the very inspirational, informative Felicia Banks, the financial guru, sitting right next to me. And wow, Felicia, there are many financial gurus around out there, even in Hollywood, especially Hollywood. I think the first time I heard about a financial guru was really in Hollywood on the Oprah Winfrey Show. What specifically set you apart from the rest?
Well, for me, I cater to a different audience. A lot of people, a lot of individuals in the finance industry are running after those wealthy who have the money and the big money. I cater to the middle class individuals, middle class families, mainly hardworking individuals that have their families because they're kind of left in that gap that's not catered to, or I work in volumes of clientele. And the wealth still is built. Of course, I have a team of agents, just like real estate. You have your agents working, so everybody's making money. But for me, it's who I cater to. I'm not too big to deal with any kind of client. If you can come and say, Felicia, I only got $50 a month to put away. Let's come up with a plan, and I can help you to be able to do more in the future. Even if you're making $40K a year, you can be a millionaire by retirement as long as you have that game plan. So what sets me different is I'm catering to the everyday average middle class family that does need that help with their financial game plan.
Now, another question I want to ask, why should people invest their money? That's another thing. And we need to name 3 top things that you think that people should invest their money in.
Awesome question. So why should people invest? So I always give this example. If you only save your money, which a lot of people do, and in our Caribbean people, they're so good, these no offense partners and things like that. It's a forced way to save, but you're going broke slowly. Okay, and the reason I say this, if you can think back on when you first started driving, and maybe $20 filled your gas tank, right? And if you had maybe 20 years ago put down $20 in a savings account that you're getting pretty much no interest on, less than 1%, 20 years today, can you still fill up that same gas tank with that $20? You're losing the value of your money. So you must invest, because with investing, it allows the money to grow for you, okay? For individuals, as far as the top 3 things to invest your money in, it all depends on what's suitable for you as a client. If you're not as savvy, you don't want to be in anything too risky. I guess the safest, for the most part, way, I wouldn't say safest, but there's always risk in investing. But when you really look at the history of how the market works and so on, a lot of people are afraid of those drops. You're really and truly over the last, say, 50 years, the market has only done about 11 years of negative returns. So 40 years of positive returns, your money will grow. So for those, there's a way you build your financial house. When it comes to investing, the first thing, if you're working, you have your 401ks, you have your mutual funds. It all depends on what your goal is. There are investments that are tax-free income. So you're investing your money in certain investments, and the return you're getting is tax-free, federally tax-free. So it really all depends on your situation. Of course, when it comes to real estate and more risky ventures, you want to make sure you have your basic foundation of your financial game plan, and then anything outside of that, once you're on track, no matter if all else fails, that you'll still be able to retire, then you're looking at more of the risky ventures. I cannot give anything specific like, oh, you should be in crypto. I personally believe crypto is the future. But definitely it all depends on where you're at in your financial game plan.
Okay. Fun question. If I was to come to you and told you I just win $500,000,
Mm-hmm.
how would you advise me how to invest that money?
That's a great question. Again, it all goes for, what's your situation? I am highly against just dumping large lumps of money in debt, because you want to make sure your money's working for you. So really and truly, $500,000 coming there depends on your age. There are, certain, how safe you are, how risky you are. I'm not going to tell someone who is 65 years old to go ahead and drop their money in, individual stocks or risky. You're a little bit more conservative as you get older, because you want to preserve your principal and your balance. But the younger you are, we're looking at, putting together that financial game plan. There are more aggressive. My little brother, he's young, and so I have him more in an aggressive investment that focuses on technology and healthcare. We know technology is the future, but it really depends on where you drop in your age and your risk tolerance. I'm not going to put anyone who's afraid of the market in anything too risky. So it really all depends.
And what is the best way would you suggest to stay out of debt?
To stay out of debt? To stay out of debt, okay. So to stay out of debt, don't shop a lot. No retail therapy. But really, it's of course, we're in America. You need credit to do anything. So it's really about being wise on how you build the credit, having a certain amount of balance available to you, your utilization percentage, things like that. But it's really about there's 4 pillars, basic pillars to finance. Of course, protecting your income, aka life insurance. Then your next step is having an emergency fund. I had a client prior to that person taking my advice. They have a house, they have children, they had about $1,000 in emergency fund. And I said, so they didn't go with me at first. And then AC broke down, and AC was about $6,000. So they had to take out a credit card. And so about having enough emergency fund, it's about 6 to 9 months of your income you should have. So hospital bill, loss of a job, tire blowout, things like that, to have cash readily available to take care of those things. And then obviously growing your investments on top of that. So really cash is king, and then being wise with your spending habits as far as credit cards. And Christmas is coming, guys. Let's be wise. You don't want to rack up that, so just having those, and don't dump all of your money in paying off debt, because if you don't have that cash and there is an emergency, you're right back to swiping and you're in a debt cycle. The whole goal is to have you in a cash cycle. And it takes time. I would say about to really build it up fully, and you're having about 9 months of income, about 3 to 5 years, depending on your disposable cash. But once you hit that goal, then you're in a space of, all right, and I wouldn't say bulletproof, but essentially anything that pops up, you can take care of it. If your income is $4K a month, 4 times 9, you have $36,000 in cash. So it sounds like a lot, but when you see it break down, it's really not that hard over time building up.
Okay, I like that. Very, very thorough. Very, very thorough. So Christmas is here. I notice you have on a Gucci belt, and I'm sure other persons must be saying she must have gone shopping. She must have indulged, but I'm sure you indulge in wisdom.
Absolutely.
But what have you done to revamp yourself and to grow yourself and your business to remain successful and current?
It's you really got to know. There's so much going on and so many opportunities, so many money making opportunities. It's really appealing, and then and there is a shift in generational wealth, and now it's the Great Resignation you're hearing. So you got to know what's going on right now. Investments and obviously life insurance with COVID, investments are skyrocketing. Why a lot of people are leaving their jobs? There are rollovers. So you got to really know what's going on, what people are looking for. There's a lot of transfer of wealth. There's going to be trillions of dollars of transfer of wealth. So, where life insurance might have been the money making thing years ago, there are people passing away. There's life insurance money coming in. So you want to sit down. You got to know what's going on, what your client base is. I focus on between the ages of 25 and 45. So that is my clientele base. Not to say that if you're older or younger, I cannot help you, but really right in that niche there is about knowing what they're looking for, what the trend is right now. Is there a shift in their mortgages are skyrocketing because there's the interest rates are really low. Had a client refinance his home, dropped his mortgage, took some money out. The interest rate was about 3%, and his debt was about 6 and 7%. So he shifted that debt. And so just really knowing like what's in right now and where can you help your client, because there's the shift, there's the interest rates and all that. So you got to really stay current on what's going on there.
What advice would you give to those aspiring to become successful today? Because we have, say for instance, if you had a rapper, very famous rapper coming to your office, or a very famous professional NBA athlete or football athlete, what type of advice would you give? How they should utilize their money and what to invest in?
Oh, yes. Well, and one thing I've learned when you come, if you don't have wealth being poor is a mindset. A lot of people
Sure.
I've paid death claims where individuals get hundreds of thousands in money, and within less than a year, that money, and you always hear the stories of those winning the lottery. So it's really about getting their mindset right and wanting to build that wealth. So what would I do with their money? Again, it's all about them being wealthy. You got to preserve and grow, preserve and grow, preserve and grow. You don't, yes, you see the Gucci belt on and whatnot, but I didn't out the gate. I've been in this industry for 7 years now. So you got to be wise and you got to hit your goals before you get into that splurging or spending out. Of course, I'm in the finance industry, so you want to carry yourself a certain way. But those with the big money, the hundreds of thousands, the millions of dollars, it's invest, 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 and diversify. And over time, every year, you're adding to that to build it up more. Because here's the thing, a lot of people, some people, and you got to watch this too. You want as much money working for you as possible. 10% of $100 is $10. 10% of $100,000 is $10,000. So you want to ensure that your money is growing and compounding over time and diversifying in different industries. It could be real estate, the stock market, obviously, like I mentioned before, the cryptocurrency. So you want to diversify your money as well, so that, if one ain't doing so well, it can balance out with the other one. But definitely, that would be my advice for them.
Would you advise someone, they come for you and they have $2 million to invest in real estate, put a lot of money in real estate, and what would you say to do with the rest?
To do with the rest? It's all about diversifying. So real estate is a great investment. It has created so many millionaires. I think it all depends on your time horizon. Some people want to put it. I'm on board for real estate. So you're in, you're flipping, are you holding? You want to put some money over in the market because the market just does its thing. That's another thing. It just does its thing. It's kind of a set it and forget it. And by the time you look up, your money's growing. So definitely, yes, I would say real estate, but not everything into one direction. Definitely diversify again into the stock market, diversify into crypto. Some people, businesses, if you have that, so you, like I said before, you set your foundation, and anything above that can be risky because you can go buy this house today and the market, man, crash. You know, the beauty is the stock market. When you have that dip and you buy in, you actually, it's on discount.
Right.
So you're buying that on discount, and when it's time to go right back up, you've made your money on it 10 times over. So definitely not all in one direction, not all real estate. You need to in different places.
You're so good at what you do. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oh, 5 years. Oh, yes. In 5 years,
On
definitely.
the Oprah Winfrey show, on the which one of these shows?
So definitely 5 years. I'm really looking forward. I have my game plan set out. I'm looking to open at least in 5 years, at least 10 new offices. And when I say office, it's not so much part-timers. These are individuals that I have helped to follow the steps that I took to come full-time in the industry, and they have their own team of agents. So my goal really and truly is not to, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go with a team. So I'm looking to, in the 5 years, open up offices, show people how to do what I do, and for them to build out, their own financial career. So about 10 new offices in the next 5 years, possibly more, but at minimum 10 new offices, financially free families, and everybody making money and having that knowledge.
Wow, really tremendously enjoyed this interview with the financial guru, Miss Felicia Banks. I like what you said. If you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go as a team.
Absolutely.
That's very key to close the show for the year 2021. Finances is so important. As we step into a new year, we need to get in contact with the financial guru. How can they you're located in right here in
Green
Acres, Florida.
The beauty is, doesn't matter. I am licensed to do business in all 50 states. So you don't have to only be in Florida in the day and age that we're in right now. Zoom. So a lot of Zooming going on. So if you do want to contact me, my phone number?
Phone number.
Yeah, I can, no
But
problem.
I think we're going to have that on the screen for those who want to communicate or contact you.
Absolutely. You can definitely contact me, 561-502-1811. That's the best way. Give me a call, let me know, hey, I saw you on the show, and we can speak further. We can set up a Zoom and kind of go from there. Everything I do when you sit in front of me is complimentary. Okay, so all your money is going into your own financial game plan. All right, so yeah, it was a pleasure, absolute pleasure being here with you.
Oh, thank you for coming on. As a matter of fact, for those who are calling, that number is for business. Is it okay for me to say that?
Absolutely.
It's for your growth, to get to the next level, and to get yourself more information of how to make yourself financially secure. On behalf of Pathway to Success and our production team, we want to thank you for this amazing ride, for being so supportive, all our sponsors, those who have been very supportive of Pathway to Success. I want to thank you so much, and we'll see you right back here. Another segment of Pathway to Success in 2022. Have a great year.